Listen up, most of y'all are gonna see these pieces and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you painted that. Here's the thing, you don't see every scratch, ding, mark, chunk that's taken out of the side of these pieces, and that's why we had to turn it into this. Now, today's furniture flip did not go as planned, but you're here for the process, so follow along. When you're getting started on furniture flips, remember you want to take all the hardware off. You want to put that hardware in a Tupperware container or a jar of any kind. Using old recyclables is the way to go. When you clean your piece before you go to sand it, you're going to clean it with a TSP or a degreaser of some sort. They sell this TSP that's it's concentrated, so you just have to mix it with some water, put it in your spray bottle, and get to town. The reason you want to clean your piece before you sand it is so that you're not sanding and pushing into the piece any solvents that was in the finish or any dirt or debris. I used a 150 to buff this entire piece down. Now my inspiration for this was the Serena and Lily Coastal Blue Driftway Dresser. This dresser retails for $5,000 and it's got a painted Grasscloth linen on it. But back to the prep. Before you can even start your painting, you have to prep it so well, and it's great to get your kids involved. Yes, you can pay them in the state of North Carolina. It's tax-free for them, tax-free for me, and it's a great way to get them involved. They love working with me. So my daughter Rosie is helping clean, and we are making sure that everything is buffed equally. When I had the drawers in, I couldn't reach everywhere with my sander, and so checking it with my hand before I start the primer. Now, these next videos are compliments of my 8-year-old. She is now going to be a videographer when she's older, but she got some awesome stuff of me priming. I'm using Ben Zinsser shellac in white to prime everything to seal in any dyes in the wood. These pieces are a wood veneer over wood, and so a lot of the times there's dyes in this, and so you want to seal it really good, and the Ben Zinsser shellac creates a really good adhesive surface for paint to adhere to. I'm using my basic home decor control sprayer by Wagner, and you're going to put 2 coats on this, and the reason why, you want a really smooth finish that's white underneath your paint. Once I'm done, I'm going to go over it with my Surf Prep sander. This thing is dustless, so it's sucking up all the dust. If you don't have one of these, because they are expensive, you can use a regular sander or a sanding pad and go through it, and you just want to get off any bumps and get it super smooth. Next, I'm going with my tack cloth, and I'm wiping the piece down to make sure there is no dust left over before the paint goes. Alright, so at this point, just like you, I've watched YouTube videos, I've read tutorials on how to do this faux Strie Grasscloth method, right? So here we go. My first few attempts were just to work on a drawer. I said, I've been a painter for 7 years. I can totally learn a new technique. It's not going to be that hard, except the first time I tried to do it, I tried to use a brush just like this, but one that I had used to like sweep up stuff, so much hair got in it, I had to wipe the whole thing down and start over. And then my finish looked like this, and I thought that is literally not Grasscloth. It looks terrible. Then it got a lot better, so I went to the dollar store, I got some different brushes. It looked a lot better, so I thought, I can do this. I can totally do this. So I started on the bigger drawers. But every time I would do a drawer, I'm looking at every imperfection, and like I'm a perfectionist type 1, and so any bit of imperfection on a piece is going to bother me. I decided to take this method to the dresser, and the smallest areas were the hardest. I even went in and got my back comb thing for my hair, and I started using that, which is now ruined, but it's fine. Now I know, you're thinking, Kristen, oh my gosh, that looks so good, you should have just left it. No, it didn't, because here's why. Every time you have to go from section to section, each section looked a little bit different than the others, depending on how light I did it or how straight my lines were, and when I put it all together, I could see where it was darker paint and lighter paint and splotchy right there and not splotchy and really good. And so I looked at this and I said, I can't put my stamp on this. So I sanded it all down. Like 12 to 15 hours of hand painting. Gone. Bye. Said goodbye to it and said, I'll try this another day. It was super frustrating. I also spilled my coffee, and then my air compressor broke as I was trying to repaint it, and it was just a bad day. So I washed everything, put everything away, closed my garage, and enjoyed the weekend. If you've never been to Charlotte, you must come and you must go to the U.S. Whitewater Center. Even if just to watch all the activities, The music, the food, the drinks, the space is amazing. And then the next day, we found a baby squirrel, and we got to keep it for like 24 hours and rehabilitate it. That definitely put a smile on my face. I'm obsessed with baby animals. And then we got it to an actual rehabilitator. But before it went, it bonded with my golden mountain doodle and helped me make a few reels for Instagram. It was about Tuesday before I got back to work. I decided to start with the hardware, cleaned it with Barkeeper's Friend, sprayed it with my Krylon Metallic Gold Spray, which is one of my favorites, and got to town with the rest of the painting. I sprayed these, and you can see my other tutorials for how I spray furniture paint, but I am going to skip that in this, so this video is not uber long. The paint I used was by Rainier, and it's a water-based lacquer. At the beginning, you saw that this was more of a cherry-coated wood, and as soon as I put these shelves back in, the nightstands, they just didn't look good. So I sanded them all down. It took like 20 minutes because, again, this is only a dye. I misted the surface after I cleaned them, and then I got to town with Lily Moon's gel stain. This gel stain is so forgiving, so I didn't have it super equally smooth sanded, but this gel stain makes everything blend together really well. You want to keep your surface pretty moist when you're working with it, and then just let it sit for a few minutes and start to wipe it off, but you want to wipe it more in, is what I tell people. And so when you're wiping it, you don't want to take everything off. You want to just rub it in and then just get the excess. It dries in about an hour, and you can use their Stellar Shield top coat to give it some good durability. For these products, you can use code TheBrokenMasterpiece10 to get 10% off all Lily Moon gels, stains, paints, and sealers on their website. This top coat also dries in about an hour, so when you need a quick, easy flip, and I needed to get these done so that I could get them staged, Lily Moon gel stains and seals are the way to go. Next up, you want to stage your piece. So I'm using a variety of heights. I've got a real fiddle leaf plant right there, and then a bowl of succulents that's at Home Depot for $20. It's like the best deal, and it's gorgeous, and it lasts for a long time. Once you get it staged how you want it, and you want to use complementing colors, so I'm using a lot of greens and yellows to bring out the blue in the piece so that it doesn't look too lavender. You want to take your photos on your phone where it gives you the 0-0, so you know that it's like exactly spot on. Then you want to take a lot of close-ups, a lot of still shots, and then you want to take some cinematic video, because on Facebook Marketplace now you can put video and they're actually going to promote your piece if you have video attached to it. So, moral of the story, even when you don't succeed, try again. We went in a completely different direction. I loved how these turned out. These pieces sold within 24 hours of posting for a total of $18.95.